From the fast action of the trading pit to the power brokers making the headlines, you'll hear it all on the Traders Network Show with your host, Michael Yorba. All right. Michael interviews the front page titans about the latest in trading tools and market trends in stocks, commodities, bonds, forex, and derivatives. The Traders Network helps you stay ahead of the curve and delivers tomorrow's trade today. Now, here's your host, Michael Yorba.
Welcome back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, your host, broadcasting to you live from the Dallas KFXR 1190 AM iHeart Media Studios and worldwide through yorbamedia.com. All right, I'm joined on the show with Michael DePasquale, Chairman and CEO of BioKey International. That's bio-key.com. Symbol is BKYI. All right, Michael is the Chairman CEO, but he's got a big background in advanced biometric security solutions. You know, you use your fingerprint as your password. Michael, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in.
It's great to be with you, Michael.
All right, you have got my favorite password. I mean, I had one of the first Sonys that came out, the computer where you just use your fingerprint on it. I love this way to access my information. Talk to us about BioKey and what they do. You're in everything, right? You're in Android, you're Windows, PC, tablets. I think also, and obviously Apple, right?
Exactly. We provide a universal software solution that allows you to use your finger interoperably on any platform and with any fingerprint scanner. That's really part of our secret sauce. We're a leading provider of that biometric identification technology for secure mobile credentialing and user identity and verification. Yeah. So we help customers reduce risk and protect the value of their services and assets while minimizing the ongoing cost for that identity management. We provide, in essence, the most effective, reliable, and efficient biometric authentication capabilities available today.
All right, so that puts you at the cutting edge of technology when it comes to using biometric fingerprints. So is it just fingerprints, or I mean, what is the next generation on passwords? I guess I should say.
Well, I think what you're seeing with the advent of fingerprint scanners embedded in the iPhone, in the Samsung Galaxy device, and a whole host of others, what you're going to see on the horizon is finger biometrics being used universally across the Internet of Things, across mobility devices, across our desktop devices. So in the near mid-term, we're going to see a pervasive deployment of finger biometrics. There are other biometric modes, eye scans, facial recognition, hand scans, and the likes, but they're more invasive. They require more expensive hardware to implement and deploy. And so finger biometrics is the least invasive and likely the biometric mode that will be with us for the remainder of this decade and into the next.
Now, somebody told me the other day that people can take a picture, copy your fingerprint, and I mean, maybe, but that's got to be some really high-end technology to be able to get that far into duplicating somebody else's ID to get password.
It is. It's very difficult to do, but more importantly, what we're seeing now is the introduction of software and hardware technology that can eliminate or dramatically reduce spoofing. So we can test for liveness through software and hardware to ensure the finger that's on that scanner is live and eliminate that problem.
Okay. All right. Now that is really advanced technology to be able to tell if somebody's alive or not just the pattern that shows up.
That's correct. And we think that's a very important component that will be incorporated and included in our technology going forward. And you'll hear more about that from us in the coming weeks.
All right. I know that you're an innovative leader on that. What about mobility? I mean, people are using I haven't seen any mobile devices yet where I just put my fingerprint on it and then that's my password. Talk to me about that.
Well, your iPhone can do that today, and so can your Galaxy S5 and S6. So that technology is being deployed broadly. It's very limited. It's usually to turn the device on and off. And in the context of Apple, they've associated the fingerprint with Apple Pay, their transactional payment solution. But that's only the beginning of what we're going to see deployed in the next year. There are over 200 million consumers today using finger biometrics and liking it on those devices that I just described.
Yeah, I can see that this is definitely a very popular way to move forward with that. What are some of the, you almost got there, but what are some of the new things we're going to see with this technology?
Well, we're definitely going to see more access to all kinds of important information, banking, healthcare. We're going to see an extrapolation in the cloud to payment systems and payment solutions. So we're going to start to see this become something that we can use, again, not only to turn our devices on and off, but really use to replace those passwords. Fundamentally, we're at a tipping point, I think, as consumers and users. We can't manage and handle the number of passwords that we must use to access information and log on to solutions, even our social media accounts. We can't handle it anymore. And so we've got to have a better way. And biometrics are clearly that next generation resolve to get us to the point where we can more conveniently and more securely access this information.
All right, now that's a big breakthrough because I have something that I write down my usernames, my passwords on, and to get them with, and then all of a sudden you get a security breach. You got to change it. So you're saying that this is just going to be pervasive. Everybody's just going to use their fingerprint. No more remembering all of these odd codes or going to these websites to try and figure out an odd code that's secure. We're just going to turn it into our fingerprints from here out.
We are, but there's going to be a step in between. So as I said, right now, on your iPhone or your Galaxy, you can certainly use it to turn on the phone, and there are some limited applications.
Right.
We're going to tie and couple identity proofing to ensure that when you enroll on that device or you enroll your credit card, that it's really you. So there's a step in between that gets us to what you just described, which is kind of panacea for all of us, right? Not having to use passwords. So there's still some work that we have to do, and there's still a medium connection that we're going to make, but we're well underway in being able to make those connections.
All right. Now, you have the ability to see into the future and actually to have some kind of a time frame on this. What do you think we're looking at in time before we can get to that point?
Well, I think we're looking at things on rolling out over the next 12 to 18 to 24 months. We already have the devices in the field beginning to, again, use biometrics. Consumers are accepting it, so we're past that. We're starting to see payment systems evolve. We saw Apple Pay introduce. Samsung is introducing a similar solution. So we're going to start to see all of this progress over the next 12 to 18 months. And the identity proofing, the fact that we can guarantee who is behind that device is something that will evolve with our cloud-based solutions. And that's going to happen this year into next.
Okay, so let me take the next step out. So we can walk up to the movie theater and just put our fingerprint down, similar to what you're doing when you go into the gym or something of that nature, and pay with your fingerprint.
Exactly. And we have solutions deployed across various segments of the economy that allow for that to happen. So, for example, NCR incorporates our solutions into their POS systems. So if you go to a Burger King or a Dunkin' Donuts where they've deployed the NCR point of service system, the employees who work there no longer have a card and swipe that card for access to the register. They simply swipe their finger. And that gives you a full and complete audit trail of who actually accessed that device, right? Took money out or put money into it. So those are the kinds of things that are happening today, and we've been widely deployed in those areas for a number of years.
Okay, so where I'm going with that is when there are young children, you're going to start just getting their fingerprints, and then that is their bank account. That's their history for here on out, and they just start to use their fingerprints. And you said that's a very short time frame, 24 months.
Yeah, I believe that that's the case. For example, we have thousands of schools that are using our technology today to eliminate cash at the lunch line.
Right.
Or to log students in the morning. And the beauty about what we've done is our technology is very scalable. So it works at the pre-K level. So, kids who are 3 and 4 years old can register on our system. And, of course, it scales all the way to the elderly and the older population. So we have the capability in our algorithms, in our science, to be able to identify young children and the elderly as well.
Okay, so and the time frame you gave me, 2 years, is very short period of time to make that leap, because this is a universal application. I mean, everywhere in the world, they're going to just throw away all that paper for the passwords that they've been saving off the side. That's amazing.
Well, and Microsoft just made some announcements less than a week ago that in their Windows 10 software release, biometrics will be a very, very big component of authentication and access and identity management.
Wow. All right, Michael, let's take a little break here. On the other side, when we come back, let's delve more into it. But I also want to know about your company, what you guys are doing as a business, because this is the next wave of investment is what you're doing, all right?
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Me too. All right, Michael DePasquale, he is the chairman, CEO, BioKey International, symbol BKYI. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's next in this sector.
I'm Rodney Anderson, inviting you to tune into my daily radio show from 11 a.m. to noon on Talk Radio 1190 a.m. Listen in for sound financial advice, and I'll answer all your money questions and more, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. on Talk Radio 1190.
BTJ Consulting was founded specifically to consult with accredited investors on how best to manage their oil and gas investments. The emphasis is not only on direct participation in drilling projects, but includes opportunities in the purchasing of oil rigs, service and equipment companies, real estate and/or the purchase of royalty interest through lease pooling. This strategy further mitigates risk and spreads their clients' investments over the entire sector whenever possible. For more information, call 469-518-5008 or info@btjconsulting.com. 469-518-5008 or info@btjconsulting.com. That's 469-518-5008 or info@btjconsulting.com. And tell them Yorba sent you.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies, and rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, for a man age 45 non-tobacco user, it's $1 million of coverage and $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-862-8376. That's 1-800-862-8376. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Term Busters at 1-800-862-8376 or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-862-8376. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including social networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. And with ZipRecruiter's premium traffic boost, you can get up to 3 times more candidates. Quickly screen applicants, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. Right now, our listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free. Plus, get 30% off your first traffic boost by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time. To try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
This is Dr. James, CEO and founder of Diamond Physicians, a direct medicine practice that combines exemplary customer service, state-of-the-art medical technology, compassionate physicians, and 24-hour medical access to revitalize healthcare delivery in America. Diamond is searching for investors to join the solution for rising healthcare costs. We have reached a paradigm shift in the healthcare market. Now is the time to invest in Diamond, a brand that has gained national attention by delivering affordable concierge medicine. Visit diamondphysicians.com/franchise to learn more about franchise opportunities.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? Call 866-555-SAFE for your free Safe Money book and join Brady Spears and Chris Novinger for the Retirement Experts Radio Show every Saturday at 9 a.m. here on 1190 a.m.
Welcome back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, broadcasting to you live from the Dallas KFXR 1190 AM iHeart Media Studios and worldwide through yorbamedia.com. I'm joined on the show with Michael DePasquale, Chairman, CEO, BioKey International, symbol BKYI. All right, Michael, when we left off, we were talking about security, the universality, if I can use that term properly, with using your fingerprint as a password for everything. But now I understand that the government is mandating this action for, say, the healthcare industry and things of that nature?
They are. Right now, there's a very significant movement to electronic records for healthcare for all of us. As you know, over the last couple of years, there's been a big move to put everything on computers and networks so it's universally available to those who are authorized to access it. But there's another important aspect of that, electronic prescribing of controlled substances. So what's required is multi-factor authentication. And each of the states in the U.S. have plans to implement a rigorous electronic prescription mandate over the next 24 months. Some states have already done it. Some states are in process of mandating that. And we have our solutions deployed at a number of hospitals, for example, like the Cleveland Clinic and Nationwide Children's Hospital in Ohio, Rady Children's Memorial Hospital in L.A., a whole host of hospitals that are using biometrics for electronic prescribing. And the real issue here is, think about a physician today seeing 20 or 30 patients a day, maybe even more, and having to write, let's just say, 70 prescriptions. Imagine having to use a token or entering some kind of a random code to issue each prescription. Wouldn't you rather just simply place your finger on a finger reader and authenticate that it's really you, and then again have that go off into the electronic sphere to authorize that prescription?
Right. I can see that would be a real money and time saver for both the patient as well as the physician, and throughout the entire medical community. It seems to, how deep are we already into this when it comes to, because everybody thinks about the first users of this application is always going to be the government, covert operations, the military, things of that nature. How far behind what's really going on is the general public? How many years behind from what's going on already in our government with this?
Well, I don't believe we're very far behind at all. In fact, as you indicated, biometrics have been used, finger biometrics in particular, in the forensic market for 50 years by law enforcement. When we founded the company 20 years ago, we founded the company on the premise that we could take this technology and make it commercially viable so that it could be used any place that you require access or authentication. And so I think we're, with, again, what we described in mobility, with consumers using the technology and accepting it, with all of the B2B or enterprise type applications, one I described at NCR, we talked about hospitals, with the proliferation of the technology happening in both the enterprise and consumer space, we're getting to that inflection point, and we're going to see the proliferation of this really take place over the next 12 to 24 months.
Wow. Okay, that's a pretty fast move for everybody to have access to this. Where are we going with this technology? I mean, it seems to me that a lot of people are going to give some pushback in regards to privacy, because you're going to use your fingerprint for everything, so that means nothing is hidden. Where are we going on that front?
Well, I think that if you look at the data breaches that we have seen over the last 3 years, some of them very, very significant. healthcare companies, Sony, for example. The hackers are way ahead, unfortunately, of the security experts, not only in our country but around the globe. And so if one is concerned about their privacy, they should be more concerned about their fraud, identity theft, and about what that can mean to them if it happens. Mm-hmm. We've all heard the horror stories. We've read the stories about people trying to reestablish their identity. Biometrics are clearly a way to avoid that, and more importantly, to ensure that your privacy is protected. As long as we have a full and complete identity management ecosystem in place that ensures we know who's behind that biometric, we will have a much more secure facility for authenticating to virtually anything.
All right. So let's say homes, getting into or securing your home. Just using your finger to unlock your front door, things of that nature. Where are we there?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because the Internet of Things, which is this next wave or next generation of connecting virtually every device together, including your refrigerator and your washing machine and your home alarm system or your heating system, is evolving. And we're starting to see that happen as well. With Nest, for example, you can electronically connect and change the temperature in your home from your smartphone. Well, as more and more of those type of opportunities are available, security is going to be a big deal. For example, do you want to be able to allow for a door to open or close based on an access from your smartphone? Probably. The problem is your smartphone secure enough to be able to ensure that the right person is going to open that door or turn a camera on in your house, for example.
Right.
So the Internet of Things is going to present, I think, even a bigger opportunity than mobility for finger biometrics and security.
Okay. How far out do you think we are to be able to have that commercially viable, so not just Bill Gates has all this, but other people or regular, middle-class home buyers can actually start to see this when they buy a new home or retrofit an older home?
I think we're looking at 24 to 36 months. I was at the Mobile World Congress event in Barcelona a couple of weeks back, and if there was any big takeaway from that event, it was that the Internet of Things is really starting to become the next wave in technology, and connecting virtually everything that we use on a daily basis is eminent. So I think over the next 3 years, you're going to see a lot of that come into play.
That's a huge change in society, with being able to transfer over to this kind of access to either all of your property as well, your car and your data. The costs, though, what about the cost to the regular person out there? Where do you think the end user is going to fall on paying with this?
Well, it's pretty clear that cost is associated with volume. And if you think about this on a global basis and you think about the number of devices that are already smart and have electronics embedded in them, I believe that the cost will come down such that it will be very affordable for the average consumer, and in fact, may be more affordable than not doing it and using traditional technologies. So it's really based on volume. And if the uptick happens, if in the next 36 months we start to see these devices deployed pervasively, the cost will drop dramatically, as it has with any technology, including cell phones and the likes.
Well, some of your higher-end cars already have this technology there, but you're saying that like Ford, GM, Chevy, and General Electric with your appliance, they're all going to be switching to this in the next 3 years.
They're already doing pilots, and there are already a host of different programs that are in place. And we've all heard and we all know that your car has more electronics in it than virtually any device. So they're very accustomed to being able to incorporate and embed the latest innovative electronics into those vehicles, because again, that not only saves money, but it provides a level of maintainability and support that is better for them and better for the consumer.
Okay, we've got a few minutes left, but I wanted to leave. I mean, because we're talked about the whole time. We talked about the product, which is massive, and it's a huge revolutionary change in the way society works. But what about the business? Your business? What big things do you see on the horizon for your company, for BioKey?
Well, I think we're going to continue to grow. We released our earnings report yesterday, and our revenue doubled year over year. We're still a small company. We generated approximately $4 million in revenue last year, and we believe and guided that our business would grow to somewhere between $5 and $7 million next year, and that we'd be break even somewhere around $6.5 million in revenue. So our business is clearly going to continue to grow as the adoption of this technology gets more pervasive. We have about a $25 million pipeline today, so we've been reasonably conservative in our estimates. We believe that's important because there's been a lot of fits and starts and stops in this space over the years, so we're trying to take a conservative approach. But clearly, for us, it's all about execution and continuing to grow our business through the existing channels that we've developed and new ones that are emerging.
Well, you're in everything that we do, and your technology is leading the way to more convenience and more security. I want to applaud you on your business model.
Well, thank you very much, Michael.
My pleasure. All right, Michael W. DePasquale, Chairman and CEO, BioKey International, BKYI. They're going to be in everything over the next 3 years. It's amazing, changing the way we access our data and our property. All right, on the other side of this break, we're going to come back with Nicholas Tzapidis, founder and president, CEO, and chairman of Neuronets, Inc., on the other side of this break.